We are diving into why visibility is such a beautiful initiation and how your body is preparing you to lead not only yourself, but your own healing movement, your business, your mission all along. How do we create that clarity, that safety, that emotional rhythm, building that visibility, the confidence that lasts, built on the rhythm, the flow, honoring your own energy? You can't post like overly masculine, push, 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 more, 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 if you're trying to lead like a priestess. Welcome to the Sovereign Self Show, and today we're talking about why your body isn't actually sabotaging you, it's initiating you along your own journey of sharing your message, sharing your heart, and building a purpose driven business. Welcome to the Portal series, a sacred transmission for the woman who's really ready to be seen, not just in her performance or wearing the mask online, but as a living embodiment of her own truth. Hello, I am Lauren Chalantani, a priestess, podcast host, and sacred visibility mentor. And in this special series, solo episode series, I am opening the doors to what visibility means when you let your body lead the way, and where your leadership rises spiral by spiral, loop by loop, to return to your beautiful, whole, and sovereign self. And in this episode, we are diving into why visibility is such a beautiful initiation and somatic experience, and how your body is preparing you to lead not only yourself, but your own healing movement, your business, your mission all along. So let's reframe the freeze. Let's get one clear: freeze mode, blanking out, shutting down. It's not a weakness. Ghosting, it's not a weakness. And it's not resistance. It's your body showing you the way. It's showing you that it's time to take a step back to look at your energy first. Pulling back and diving deep into the spiral is actually the wisest response that you could offer in your dysregulated energy, in your dysregulated nervous system. So many of us try to perform and push through, but sometimes our bodies have just seen enough. Whether, your health journey, you've just eaten all of the junk food, all of the fried foods, and your body is just like, enough's enough. And you manifest a physical symptom, a physical diagnosis. The same goes for speaking your truth. The same goes for visibility and showing up. There comes a point where your body, whether it's burnout, whether it's fight or flight, freeze, we're talking about all of this and the sacredness of this moment. And if you're listening to the show, I know you are a witchy spiritual woman. All are welcome here. But you've gone on this heroine's journey, this hero's journey already. So you understand this concept I'm about to talk about: the initiation, the challenge, the beginning into this journey. And it's not like we just go through our spiritual healing, awakening, and we're done. Poof, we're enlightened. No. There are layers, there are spirals. This universe is cyclical, and there's one constant, actually two: change, this lifetime, and your breath. So when it comes to visibility, when it really comes to sharing yourself, your message, your heart, your energy with the world, when you get initiated into this beautiful reframe of when your body freezes up, it shuts down, it triggers, it's your body leading away to that next step of your own mastery, of your message, of your visibility, of that initiation of leadership. And I think people just think that to be a business owner, you have to be a content creator to be really good at marketing, know all the trends and putting out all the content. And to be honest, it's the energy behind it. And it's the authenticity. How do you show up when you don't feel like showing up? Taking the time to do the work beforehand. And when we're able to do this, whether it is visibility showing up or magnetizing abundance and clients to yourself automatically. A beautiful story I want to share about this is one of my past clients. She was in a past mastermind and a private client. She started working with me because of this. She felt like constant state or fight or flight. She'd gone through physically healing her body. She was helping other people holistically heal. But when it came to her business, when it came to visibility, showing up and sharing her heart and her message to help people, she noticed she was constantly in fight or flight, a dysregulated nervous system, anxiety, constant disassociation, wanting to binge watch Netflix all the time, binge scroll on her phone. And what we really got to do is work through of one, not shaming herself for these moments, of being able to feel what's coming up, have that beautiful conversation with herself, but to reframe it. And in those moments, to take that step back and to understand, oh, this is what actually my body is calling me towards. It's calling, maybe it is watching a Netflix show or two, but it's really calling me towards, hey, Lauren, maybe you need more rest. Maybe you need to fill up your cup first. Maybe dive more deeper into the energetics and the meditation. There's some false beliefs or premise that you're operating off of, that you are constantly operating out of lack. And that was what was showing up in her reality and in her own health, in her business and relationships, her family. And so we really started to peel that back and really owning where she was at emotionally and the thoughts and the energy and the patterns that were coming up that have been with her for her whole life. And two, as she started to become more aware of that, focusing on feeling better, going general, maybe distracting herself from whatever was coming up because it had so much momentum, and going to do something fun, like go take a dance class or work out, and then come back to what she was working on. And what momentum started to build is she was building a new program where clients were starting to come in easily. She was starting to show up more consistently, but in honor with her body. She was feeling better. But when she had a huge, unexpected event in her life, family emergency, she was on vacation. She had to drop everything. She doubled down on the energetic parts, the somatic parts. She really was triggered in those moments. There was a lot of fear, anger, all of these emotions were coming up, things that she couldn't control. And she was able to go really, really deep into the energetic work. And she was able to manifest clients that came to her from podcasts 2 years beforehand that found her on Google locally, which she never advertises locally for the work that she does. And she was able to sign, I believe, two private clients for the rest of the year. Mind you, she was dealing with this family emergency that she was able to drop everything, but she didn't post on social media for weeks, didn't share the constant content algorithm spiral. She was fully present with herself so she could show up fully for her family in that time of need. And these clients, quote unquote, happened to come out of nowhere. But what you might notice is that, yes, we proactively got out ahead of it. And so when those moments of trigger or that freeze came up in her life, she was really to take that responsibility and harness that huge unexpected energy and alchemize it. So she instantly became magnetic. So yes, she was putting in the work vibrationally about feeling better and healing those fight or flight, living in survival patterns for so long. But also, she was putting in the work and showing up for years before that, online, virtually, on podcasts, etc. And that those were the opportunities in the moment that brought those aligned clients into her reality. So really, let's backtrack. What happened there? How do we create that clarity, that safety, that emotional rhythm, just like my client did? Building that visibility, the confidence that lasts, built on the rhythm, the flow, honoring your own energy and not that rigidity. So most spiritual women are trying to build their businesses, their content, their podcast in a way that really ignores that doesn't honor their energetic reality. And you can't post like a machine. You can't post like overly masculine, push, 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 more, 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 if you're trying to lead like a priestess. And I am probably the witchiest priestess you'll know, but I had such an aversion to this statement. and owning that priestessness. And it's this balance, right, of living in the 3D versus that 5D energetic space. How do we flow and still show up in both? And this emotional safety to be with yourself. I really don't like the word safety. It's emotional sovereignty, to really the honesty to be able to be with yourself, be honest with yourself with where you're at, and you don't care what it freaking takes. You are focusing on moving forward, on loving yourself, on showing up no matter what. That's not a luxury. That is just a foundational part of leadership, spiritual leadership, what it means to be a sovereign being. And through this container of building your business or your heart centered mission, visibility is a beautiful somatic spiritual experience, this process that is really initiation into that deeper level of leadership that you are being called towards. It's not a consistency problem. It's not a habit problem. It's your initiation to that next level of who you actually already are, which is amazing. So something how I like to reframe this is looking at it as vibrational visibility, your energy, your presence over the performance of putting on the face and showing up consistently and blah, 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 algorithm that, blah. When your energy, the unseen, the vibration is going to speak louder than the actual posts, the podcast, the Google search. This is when your nervous system, your capacity to hold more, to be able to receive, becomes that strategy. And when how you actually be carries more than what you actually say. Whether I'm doing a podcast like here, a post, a podcast interview that I'm on, I always go back to, okay, tune into that energy. And just, I trust and I tell God, my higher self, let me be this beautiful, clean channel for whatever needs to come through the vibration. And I trust that's what needs to be said. And I get out of the way. And just like a lot of you know what light language is, just like light language, you might not literally understand or can translate it into English. Same goes for this concept of vibrational visibility. No matter what you're creating, content wise, podcast wise, whatever, this frequency, the energy that you show up as and consistently tune into, that is what magnetizes your energy, your capacity, the calling in the soul clients, the abundance, the happiness, the joy, the pleasure, everything. Not because you are forcing it, but because you're actually living it. That's the vibration that you're radiating consistently, more and more and more and more. And the universe can't give you what you're not being already. So before you jump in to create, to record the podcast, to just set up for your day, return to the source, your life force energy. And as women, we are so, we literally have wombs that create life from. We get to tune into this creation life force energy. We get to turn on to be able to create. This really helps tuning into our sacral energy, our womb space really helps with that burnout repairing. Pleasure, being an artist is our own power source, not the, oh, I've got to post my reel today. I got to send out my weekly email. I need to do that. Algorithm this. No, creation itself is your purpose here. You are a creator. You are a sovereign being. You create content, but you create yourself. You create your life. And this is where you get to really come home into overflow and this beautiful, sacred artist of life and the message that you want to create in this world. This is the first phase in the sovereign portal system, which is what I teach in the portal membership. And it's really not a to-do thing. It's a temperature shift on how you lead. This is where, it's the shoulds become, I get to do this. And it's a huge perspective shift, but it's allows you to get out of the way, get out of the fight or flight, the freeze, initiation and into that turned on creator who loves her life, because that's your purpose, is to feel better, not to create more content or help people. It's to anchor in that vibration, that oh, that sacred note of the symphony in the universe that you are here to play. So if freeze or fight or flight has been showing up stuck in survival a lot lately for you, it might not be trying to stop you. It might be trying to initiate you into that deeper level of yourself, but that leadership, what it takes to that next level of being that sovereign leader, that sovereign CEO, the leader of your own healing movement. And that's exactly why I created the portal, because your leadership doesn't need more pressure. It needs a new pattern. It needs more presence. And the portal waitlist is now open. We're about to open the doors officially in just a few days so everybody can join. But if you join waitlist now, you'll get instant access to this beautiful somatic, beautifully designed, honestly, ritual. It's a PDF ritual called the Visibility Transmission Ritual, to help support your body and your nervous system in actually being seen. And this is your first sacred step into doing this beautiful work. So head to the show notes and click on the link to join the waitlist and get your visibility transmission ritual today. Thank you guys so much for listening. And remember that this is anything that's coming up in your life. What if it's freeze, anger, it doesn't matter what trigger is coming. It's your initiation into being that leader, that sovereign self. If I could leave you with one thing, it's all happening for you. It's all leading the way for you to be your most beautiful, bright, happiest, abundant, loving self. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And until next time.